What's going on, all my toy collectors and turtle fans out there? You know who it is. It's your boy Ox, and welcome to the Cave of Wonders. Now this week, it's been all about the turtles. So if you guys have been following my channel, you'll know that we've been taking a look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters Collection by Neca Toys. On Monday, we looked at Raphael as Frankenstein's monster. Yesterday, we looked at Michelangelo as the Mummy. And today, we're going to be taking a look at Splinter as Van Helsing. So let's get into it. Okay, now taking a look at the front of the box, you can see right here it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Universal Monsters. Let you know right here the name of the character we're going to be looking at, which is Splinter as Van Helsing. And then it shows you this really cool art image of Splinter right there. Now I've already measured this box out for you guys. It's 6.5 inches long by 9 inches tall by 3.5 inches in depth. So that's how much shelf space you're going to need if you're going to be displaying this in the box, all right? Now taking a look at the side, you can see right there it just says Van Helsing, shows Splinter again. Now, just like the other figures that we already looked at, on the back of the box, it shows you this really cool like poster image of Splinter right here. It says Splinter as Van Helsing, trouble with monsters, call the rat with the hat, marvel at the razor sharp rodent, cunning with a crossbow, he has tools for taming terror, master of Nujitsu, hunter of vampires, and slayer of Shredder. Now, this is their first time mentioning Shredder, which means they possibly down the road might end up making like a Universal Monster Shredder figure. They didn't make one of those for the Playmates back in the day, but who knows, they might end up making one now because they ended up making like Casey Jones and stuff like that. So, and you know, they made Splinter, so they might end up making a Shredder one as well. Let's go ahead and pop this out of the box. After I take a look at the inside, you can see this clear image right here, and you can see the character. He has an extra head and a couple weapons, and then you can see this image of him right here on the box. Really cool little image. They did this for each one of them, put him in a really cool stands, and just showed him with a really cool background. But yeah, let's go ahead and pop him out of the box, all right, guys? Okay, now here's Van Helsing Splinter out of the box. You can see he comes with the figure. He comes with 4 extra swappable hands, so that's 6 total with the 2 that he has on. He comes with a knife. He comes with a crossbow. 3 stakes that you stab a vampire with, not ones that you eat. He ends up having an extra head sculpt. 3 extra bow and arrows that have pointy ends, and then 2 variants of those bow and arrows that have stuff on them. And then he comes with a little figure stand. Out of the other 2 figures that I looked at, none of them came with figure stands. This is the only one who does, maybe because he possibly might have trouble standing up, but I didn't have any kind of trouble. I just bent his tail a little bit and he stood up just fine. But out of the 2 figures I already looked at, he is the only one that came with a figure stand. All right, guys? Now, starting off with his extra hands, these right here are his 2 gripping hands that he can hold something with. Let me make sure I get up real good on those. Look at those nails. Then he has like these purplish looking gloves right here. They have like dust in between the hands. They're painted like that. That's not actual dust. This is a brand new figure right here. And then you can see they have some kind of little lines right here. And yep, that right there, that's what, if in case you want to swap those out, you guys can put stuff inside of his hands. Then he has these 2 hands right here, which are like pointing hands, in case he decides, like, you know, it's like pointing over at something. One of them has like 2 fingers, and then one of them just has 1 pointing. So this right there is those. Now taking a look at his little knife, here it is right here. It's black on the handle and like a really brushed steel look right there. Rigid edges right there. Pretty cool. And now his crossbow. Neca did a really good job at, you know, adding the paint and adding all these little details to this thing right here. Look at that. You can even see like the wood grain in the handle right there. Yeah, it's pretty cool. A little scope and everything. Oh, a little scope, you can even see through it. Check that out. That's pretty cool, man. Yep. And then he comes with 3 of these little stakes right here. You can just hold those in his hand, and he can stab, you know, stab a creature with them, or stab a vampire or something with them. And then let's take a look at these 3 little bow and arrows right here. Really cool texture and paint work on them little feathers right there. Now these are just pointy right here, because he actually comes with 2 other ones. Let's see if I can get these. They're so small and skinny. This one right here has a little like a little blade right on the end right there. So it's going to come with 5 total bow and arrows. This one right here has garlic on it, in case he shoots it at a vampire or something like that. Yep. So a total of 5 different bow and arrows, 3 stakes. He has this extra head sculpt right here in case you don't want to show him with the hat on. Take a look at it. You can see those glasses do have lenses in them, and you can see his eyes right there. Little chin hairs. Now, obviously, I'm going to guess that this Splinter, I haven't pulled it out of my other shelf yet, but I'm going to guess that this Splinter is based off of that movie Splinter that they ended up making a few years ago from the first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. I'm going to guess what this actual sculpt is from, but I'll pull it out and take a look at it at the end of this review, okay, guys? But right there. And now taking a look, let's move these out the way. Look at my boy Splinter as Van Helsing up close. Now this hat doesn't come off. That's why they gave you that extra head in case you don't want to have him with this hat on. He does have this little belt right here. I think this belt is going to be used to hold all those different little stakes. Let's see real quick. Yep, you can slide all them stakes in there if you guys want. Just like that. And then he has this little pouch right here in the back that you can put all them little bow and arrows inside of there. And I don't see any kind of place in order to put his blade, like a place that ends up holding that little knife or holding his crossbow at all. I don't see a place for that. At least not that I can see. Who knows? Maybe you can slide his knife right here in the back. Maybe. I'm not for sure if it's supposed to go there, but that's where I'm going to end up putting it right now. But yeah, and this does wiggle around. Now it does have a little lip right there in the back. You guys can see it right there. See, he has a hole right on the back of his jacket. You guys can slide this in case it gets too wobbly. I might end up gluing it personally. It wasn't glued when I got it or anything like that. I think it's meant to wiggle around, but I might glue it so it doesn't keep falling, because I notice it keeps falling like below his arms. But maybe it's just so in case you guys want to take that off, you guys can do that. But yeah, taking a look at him, he does look cool, man. I like him. I like his jacket right here. I like all the fur right there. And like I said, I'm pretty sure that this is the same sculpt from that Splinter from the Ninja Turtles movie, from the 1990s movie, because if I remember, he has like this like brown, like rigid robe or something on, and those must be like the little drawstrings for the robe. I like how they did it purple right up here. Even his hat is like, it's not just black. It's almost like a, I mean, it's black, but it kind of has like a tint of plum to it, I guess you would say. Not like as purple as this, but kind of has like a tint of plum on it. And you can see his ears sticking up through, only one ear sticking up through the hat right there. You know, like he's some kind of 70s or 80s pimp. But yeah, I like that, man. It looks pretty cool, man. I like him. Taking a look at his tail. His tail is a bendy tail, so you can bend it any way that you want. It kind of helps him stand up when he's standing. But that's probably why they put that figure stand in here, in case you guys want to do that, okay? Now, he doesn't have too much articulation in the head. It does rotate around, but it doesn't look up too far. And it doesn't look down too far. It's kind of stuck in that one little position right there. His arms, I'm going to move his belt out of the way real quick. His arms do go up. They do rotate around right there. He does have double jointed elbows. It's not as hard to bend as the figures that we looked at yesterday and the day before, because the Ninja Turtles all have the wraps right here on the elbows and on the knees. So this Splinter isn't too hard to use that double jointed elbow right there. His wrists do rotate around. They do go in. They do go out. He doesn't have any kind of ab crunch. I don't see him possibly having any kind of waist swivel due to the fact that he has all this jacket and stuff like that on, and I can't unbutton this and take it off or anything like that to see it. But his knees do bend. He has single jointed knees that do twist right here at the knee as well. They do rotate. His foot does go up, does go down, does rock back and forth. Does it? No, it doesn't. I don't see it rocking back and forth. It turns, but it doesn't rock back and forth. So excuse me. It does go up, does go down, and it does turn, but I can't get it to tilt side to side. So maybe that's why they end up putting that figure stand in there. But yeah, right there was a close look at Splinter as Van Helsing. Check him out. Let me go ahead and throw some, swap his hands out, throw a different hat on him, and put his weapons in his hand and show you what it looks like. All right, guys? Okay, now here he is after I swapped his head and then I swapped his hands out for them gripping hands and put his weapons in his hands. This right here is what he looks like without his hat on. I think it's the exact same head sculpt. Like I said, I think they just ended up, you know, putting the hat on this one right here. Yeah, and this right here is how he holds that knife right there. Obviously, you guys can, you know, put it the other way or put it whatever way you guys want. This right here is how he holds his crossbow right here. And as you guys can actually see, I put one of the arrows, I lifted up the rope right here, and I put one of the arrows right in there, and it kind of just fits right in this little like groove right there, and it sits in there. Obviously doesn't shoot, but yeah, it just sits right in the top of that crossbow right there. So that's pretty cool that they added that feature and didn't just give you arrows that you just put in the back of his little pouch right here, because that's actually what you guys can do. You can put his arrows right in here if you guys want, you know, have them sitting in there. So obviously if you guys are shaking it too much, it's going to fall out. This thing does get kind of loose. I think I told you guys that's probably why I'm going to glue it. That right there is how those stakes look in, you know, strapped inside of his belt. But yeah, man, he looks like a really cool figure. I like him a lot. He's not one of my favorites. Like I said, I'm sure he's just based off of that other sculpt. But just the fact that they ended up deciding to use Splinter in this Universal Monsters line was a really good idea, because they didn't end up using him in the old one. They used April. They used the Turtles a couple different times, but they didn't use like Casey Jones. They didn't use Splinter. So, you know, it's really cool idea that someone was like, hey, you know, let's throw in a whole bunch of different characters. And who knows, down the road, like I said, they might use Shredder, they might use Krang, they might use a whole bunch of different characters, you know, and make them all Universal Monsters. Who knows? But yeah, I like this idea that they decided to do. I like the fact that they picked Van Helsing for this character, you know, to have him hunting down all these different monsters. So yeah, let's go ahead and do a comparison real quick of this one next to the movie Splinter that Neca had came out with. Okay, now here's Van Helsing Splinter, and this right here is the 1990s movie Splinter. And I was right about one thing, but I was wrong about the rest. This is not the same sculpt. Different legs, different body, different arms, possibly. I can't tell with this little robe he has on, but it's the same head. They just added glasses to it, maybe some different paint work. But yeah, these legs are definitely not the same. You could see right there, this one right here has bent at the knees. It doesn't have any articulation in the actual feet like this one ended up having articulation in. So, and you can see it's a different lower half as well, like his bottom butt and everything like that, the way the knees are bent. So even the way the toes look. So all that's different. He's even shorter than Van Helsing Splinter right here. He's a little bit shorter, but the heads, I'm pretty sure, are exactly the same. Just like I said, just different paint work. Obviously this one has glasses on, but the heads look exactly the same, but the rest of them, his chest, arms, and everything is different. So I don't see a whole lot of reuse besides the head, which is a really good head. This is a really good looking head, and obviously they added glasses, or you can go ahead and swap that out and put the hat on him right there. So yeah, well, I hope you guys did enjoy this look at Splinter as Van Helsing. Like I said, it's a really, really awesome figure. A really good idea that they came up with at NECA to go ahead and use Splinter. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what figure you guys like so far that we looked at, from Frankenstein on Monday, Mummy on Tuesday, and then today looking at Van Helsing. And then tomorrow we'll go ahead and take a look at Leonardo as the Hunchback. Okay, guys? Until then, stay cool.